The Vietnam War is remembered as a battle between the Communist North and the capitalist West. But behind the scenes, was the Soviet Union fighting too? Were there Soviet troops in Vietnam? The Vietnam War wasn't just a civil war, it was a proxy battle in the Cold War. The United States backed South Vietnam, while North Vietnam received support from two communist superpowers, the Soviet Union and China. But while the Soviet Union provided massive amounts of weapons, training, and economic aid, did they send soldiers into combat? The answer is complicated. The Soviet Union provided billions of dollars in weapons, including AK-47 rifles, MiG-21 fighter jets, surface-to-air missiles, SAMs, artillery and tanks. They also sent advisors, engineers, and anti-aircraft specialists. But unlike the United States, the Soviet Union never officially committed combat troops. Instead, Soviet personnel were there to train Vietnamese troops, repair equipment, and run air defenses. Here's where it gets interesting. While the Soviets didn't officially send combat troops, many Soviet anti-aircraft operators and radar crews were directly involved in shooting down American planes. In the early 1960s, Soviet air defense teams helped set up and operate SA-2 missile batteries, shooting down American bombers and fighters. Soviet pilots may have flown MiG fighters on training missions, though most combat flying was done by North Vietnamese pilots. Some historians argue that this blurred the line between training and combat. Why didn't the Soviet Union send full combat divisions like the US did? Simple, they didn't want to start World War III. If Soviet troops openly fought Americans, the war could have spiraled into a nuclear conflict. Instead, the Soviets played a behind-the-scenes role, keeping their involvement plausibly deniable. China, by contrast, sent over 300,000 support troops to Vietnam, though mostly in defensive or construction roles. The Soviet Union preferred to be the supplier and advisor, not the frontline fighter. So, were there Soviet troops in Vietnam? Yes, but not in the way most people think. They weren't on the front lines charging through the jungle, but they were behind the radar screens, missile sites, and weapons that shaped the conflict. It was a war fought by Vietnam, but powered in part by Soviet technology and expertise. Thanks for watching Quick History. Comment below. Should the Vietnam War be called a Cold War battle? Subscribe for more sharp and focused military history stories.